The Meat Dude, brought to you by All Sauger Meats on today. In fact, we do. Spencer Wirt, the Meat Dude, stepping away from the shop right now to take all your meat-related questions. You got a comment about cuts, rubs, what you should not ever ask your butcher? Well, that's the guy you're going to want to ask, and his name's Spencer Wirt, joining us right now. Spence, are you punching out at like 4:30 and not looking back until Monday?
Today is the last work day, yes. Will I be out of here by that specific time? I don't know, but yes, I am. We are closed for business Thursday and Friday.
Very good. You've earned it. I've got questions that are awaiting you, so I'll get to those. Tyler, question for the Meat Dude. We are doing shish kebabs for Thanksgiving. What cut of beef do you suggest?
First off, that's cool, doing shish kebabs for Thanksgiving. I like that a lot. And then the cut really depends on how much prep work you're doing or wanting to do, how much time you have to marinate. Top sirloin, something lean, whole muscle, but relatively tender is a good cut to use. Going to be a little more expensive than if you buy stuff out of the round, like a top round or rump roast. But the top round rump roast is going to be a little tougher, so could probably use a little more time in a marinade to tenderize it. But yeah, really what you're looking for is whole muscle, relatively lean cuts that will stay whole and solid during the cooking. And yeah, between those two, top round and top sirloin is probably the two I've used the most.
Follow up on beef. I have seen, well, I think we've all seen, the colorization of beef. And I know you're going to probably say, well, yeah, it depends on how much oxygen's been introduced. But is there any other variable that goes in? Because you've seen some cuts that have more of a purple hue to it, and then there's some that are just a sharp red. And whether that's ground beef or, pick whatever cut it is it solely the oxygen that's been introduced that makes it a purplish hue versus a very vibrant red?
No, there's obviously a lot of factors that go into the color of meat, and color is an indicator of quality. And when I mean quality, I'm talking the standardized quality grade system. Now, age of an animal has a huge influence on the color of the protein. Where it comes from in the carcass has an influence on the color of the protein. Obviously, the longer it sits, oxygen influences and kind of goes up and down between dark purple, brown, up to bright cherry, pink, red is kind of how it's described. So yeah, there's just a lot of factors. Usually, the older an animal gets, the more myoglobin that there is in the protein. Therefore, it's a darker protein, that purplish that you're describing. Like, we do slaughter quite a few bulls and cows in our facility, and they always have a much darker purplish protein color than like a young 2-year-old animal. So yeah, that's the biggest difference. Age, time exposed to oxygen, where it came from in the carcass, lots of things.
Okay, well, I'm glad I asked. It wasn't as simple as what I expected you to put it as. Tyler, question for the Meat Dude. Should you bring a turkey to room temperature before roasting?
No, turkey don't need to just throw right in the roaster, get the cook process started. You want to get the surface, up to hot temperatures pretty rapidly, actually, when it comes to poultry. That's, more beef and just beef. We'll just say beef is the one that you should, like a steak, should bring up to room temperature. But anything else, you can put it on cold.
All right. More questions coming.
Refrigerated temperatures, I should specify, not frozen, please.
Yeah, you're gonna have a bad time if you have not taken that turkey out yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Bad time.
Adventure RV text clubs 35270. Hey, Meat Dude, tips, suggestions for cooking prime rib on a Traeger grill. Heat setting, time per pound, etc. Anything helps. That's signed by Kurt.
Heat. Well, gosh. Prime rib, there's two methods that I keep in my back pocket. That's either sear and roast or the reverse sear method. Using a Traeger, my best go-to would be a reverse sear. So you're going to put it on your Traeger at 300 degrees, heavy smoke, It's going to take, let's say you have an 8-pound prime rib. Let's say it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes per pound is used to what we would tell our customers. This was not reverse searing. This was the opposite. But it should do it justice if you do 10 to 15 minutes per pound. So we're looking at an hour and a half. You should be able to get it up to that rare, so like that 120 in that point. And then if your Traeger has the ability to blast it with heat and create a crust, that's what you end with is the high blast to create that sear, to create that seal, to trap all the juices in. If you can't accomplish that on your Traeger, then I would throw it in an oven, honestly, and just turn your oven up as hot as it goes. You can use your broiler option and just create that crust, and that'll raise that temperature another 20 degrees, and then let it rest for 20 minutes, and you're looking at a perfectly medium rare prime rib. Obviously, as I always say, I can tell you time and temperature to set your smoker, your oven, your whatever to, but no matter what, use a thermometer, because that's the only true tried and tested way to make sure that your end result is what you're looking for.
Very good. More questions coming on in. Tyler, a question for the Meat Dude. I've never heard that beef should be at room temperature. What are the advantages of this?
So let's look at a steak. If you're throwing your steak onto a grill that's 475 degrees and it is at refrigerated temperatures, well, when you put cold water onto something at 475 degrees, that water goes drastically crazy, right? So if we throw a cold steak onto a very hot grill, that water is going to be pushed to the middle or pushed to the opposite side, and it's going to just create more opportunity for water loss, which is not what we want. If you bring that temperature of the protein up to room temperature, so let's say 70 degrees, it's less of a shock on that protein. It's less of a shock on the water. Your water holding capacity of that steak will increase just because of that 50-degree swing that you're taking away from it by letting it come up to room temperature. I guarantee if you do a compare and contrast of something that you just threw on cold versus brought up to room temperature, anybody would be able to tell the difference.
One thing that, kind of along these lines, the thing that it took me way too long to understand and appreciate is the resting period of a steak
after cooking.
Yeah, the after cooking part. So to get it to room temp at that beginning point, game change. But having that resting period after you've had it on there is just incredible.
and it's kind of the same. Yeah, well, you said it's kind of the same reason, right? Because we're letting that water chill out. We're letting that water kind of expand back to its normal state, and
Thermometers as well, the meat thermometer that you talked about. Folks, I know that some of you are going to be doing some Black Friday shopping. I would consider that for any meat lover you've got, somebody that likes doing, the long, slow, and all of that. It just keep that on your short list of a great gift idea. I'm not going to tell you which brand. I want to thank our buddy Jeff for giving me an idea, and I've not looked back ever since. So the thermometer and understanding the room temp and then the resting period afterward for the beef, man, that's been over the 6 years that you and I have been talking, has changed our entire cooking process around our household. So for that, I thank you, man.
It's been 6 years. Jeez.
Does it feel like it's been shorter than that?
Yeah,
because it's gone by so fast.
Feels like we just started.
Yeah, it's
so
just
fun and
you look
exciting
forward. It's on your schedule every week that you look forward to visiting with us on KFGO. I can hear it with the enthusiasm of which you answer the listener questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Let's say somebody goofs on the turkey tomorrow. They need to get bailed out. What should they buy today as far as meat goes? Saying this will be an easy replacement. If your turkey goes awry, you forgot to take it out, here's a slab of beef you should buy tonight for backup.
Oh, I don't even know. Tri-tip. Tri-tip's a good go-to that'll feed a lot of mouths instead of trying to buy enough steaks to feed everybody. I'd probably go tri-tip. I'll go pick some up and just have it on standby. It's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, just to have around the house anyway, whether it's tomorrow or this weekend or 2 weeks from now.
Hopefully you don't have to cook it tomorrow, but you got one.
Yeah, unless you're planning to cook it tomorrow. Hopefully everybody's kitchen endeavors go without a hitch tomorrow. Spencer, what are you doing tomorrow? Food-wise. I mean, gathering with family, you don't have to tell. I don't care about that. But what are you cooking tomorrow?
All right. I thought that was a personal question, but no, that's okay. What am I eating tomorrow? I got to be honest, I don't know. I think turkey, probably.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. We're traveling, and I'm just showing up and eating. So.
You're not so different, you and I.
Hey, you know what we didn't talk about was, that Snapchat that I sent you Sunday.
How could I forget?
Yeah,
without being intentional.
I needed to make sure you didn't forget
it.
Well,
okay. Do you want to enlighten the rest of the class on what I received by Snapchat?
I filled my tag, and Tyler was. You weren't the first person I Snapchatted, but you were, top. You were top 10 for sure.
Oh, very good. Congratulations. What have you done with it?
Nothing. I will be processing it sooner or later, but I haven't done anything with it. Cut it up. Packaged it, froze it. That's about it. I got the mount done already, in case you're wondering.
I wasn't, but now I'm glad to know that you mounted it, and you're going to be a talking point for the rest of the family when they show up to your place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, pal, anything else before I let you go this week? Thanks for taking the parting shot. I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for that as we enter this holiday season.
Yeah, well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and hope everybody's cook goes well.
There you go.
It's important.
He's thinking about you out there. Spencer, happy Thanksgiving, my man. You tell that to your family as well, and we'll chat again next week, all right?
Sounds great.
All right. Spencer Wirt, the Meat Dude. Every week, that conversation brought to you by Alts Auger Meats. You can find them in Audubon, Minnesota. Now, of course, tomorrow's Thursday. Typically, I'm saying, hey, tomorrow's going to be Friday. They got 10% off on Friday. I assume, if they're open Friday, I should have checked first, that deal is probably going on. They'll text me. The All Soccer Boys, if in fact they are open, let me know, and I'll be sure to tell everybody about that. If not, make sure next Friday you're out there because it is 10% off everything every Friday. Afternoons Live is just getting started. KFGO time 2:25. I'm Tyler Axness. Stick around.